name is Sergeant Jason Mike. I'm a combat medic with the 617th Military Police Company, operating on our call sign Raven 42. I was part of a patrol that compiled of 3 Humvees, where we took on the mission of clearing main supply routes and alternate supply routes of IEDs, small arms fire, and RPGs. Grew up in a military household. Father was 20 years active duty military. Seeing my dad wake up every morning, going to work in a uniform with, shine boots and a creased uniform made me extremely proud, and it's something that I wanted to be a part of.
For young Jason Mike, growing up in the military would mean different schools in different states, even different countries. Instilled with love and discipline from a career Army father and a Korean-born mother, young Jason welcomed the new neighborhoods, schoolyards, and playgrounds as he emerged as a star athlete.
Every single bit of football I loved. But the smell of the fresh cut grass, I loved going out and seeing those painted lines. I loved game day. Game day was a day that I lived for.
After a record-breaking high school career in Kentucky, the bruising fullback would be offered a football scholarship to Jacksonville University in Florida. But his life course would change when on a crystalline autumn morning in 2001, America came under attack.
As I walked into my room, I saw the second plane hitting the World Trade Center. And that's when I knew that there was something else for me to do. And after that, I stepped off the team and got into a pair of combat boots.
Mike was assigned to the 617th Military Police Company as a combat medic, and in November of 2004, his unit was deployed to Iraq. Mike's MP unit, under the command of Sergeant Timothy 9, would be responsible for security along several supply routes south of Baghdad. On March 20th, 2005, Specialist Jason Mike was in the rear vehicle of a patrol that was shadowing a large supply convoy. Sergeant Timothy 9, in the lead vehicle, radioed back that the convoy was under attack.
And I could hear my gunner yelling out to my TC that the convoy ahead was being hit.
The 3 Humvees of Raven 42 had trained on this route for just such an ambush and sped into contact with the enemy. They turned down a familiar side road surrounded by orchards and irrigation canals.
My gunner began to just rock away on the 50 cal. In my head, I thought that there's only 10 or 15 guys out there. This fight would be over in 10 minutes.
But that wouldn't be the case. As many as 50 well-armed anti-Iraqi forces, using the canals and trees for cover, turned the full force of their fire from the convoy onto the MP vehicles.
Game day comes around, you hear the crowd screaming, you hear the music outside. All you want to do is get on the field and play ball. And that's the same way I felt in that same scenario. All I wanted to do was get out the vehicle and play ball.
The lead vehicles with Sergeant 9 and 5 others continued down the road where they stopped and engaged the enemy at close range. Specialist Mike's vehicle with 4 MPs had already stopped and was taking heavy fire from both sides of the road. Specialist Mike dismounted the vehicle, his sidearm drawn.
I counted about 25 guys that I saw that were peering back at me, with rounds blazing right towards me. At that point, I realized we were in a bigger fight, and the only thing I could think was, hey, let's go ahead and get them before they get us.
Jason Mike grabbed his M4 rifle just as the vehicle's driver yelled that he'd been hit.
You all right? I bandaged him up, threw him inside the vehicle, and then picked back up my sector of fire because we were under so much fire.
Then another soldier yelled that he'd been hit. Mike dragged the wounded man to the cover of the Humvee. And as the insurgents began moving forward from their positions in the trenches, Specialist Mike continued returning fire.
Picking out targets very, very carefully, making sure that I was hitting guys left and right. Soon after, heard my gunner yell that he was hit.
With the vehicle's big gun now silenced and his 3 comrades wounded, Specialist Jason Mike faced the enemy alone.
It was a Rambo scene. He had 2 weapons in his hand. He's shooting a M249 light machine gun in one direction and an M4 rifle in the other direction. He's just not spraying it. He's looking back and forth as he's doing these shots to make sure he's shooting at what he needs to shoot at.
The vehicle's 50 caliber soon began to roar again as Sergeant 9 and Sergeant Leanne Hester went into the canals to eliminate the last insurgents. When the battle was over, Specialist Mike called in a medevac chopper and continued treating his wounded men.
Seeing that medevac helicopter come down, it's like, God has sent his angel, because you know that this guy's going to get the best care possible.
For his exceptional bravery and valor in combat, Specialist Jason Mike was awarded the Silver Star. Today, Sergeant Jason Mike is married, and with the desire to stay in the game and grow as a soldier, he is training to become a flight medic. The heroic legacy of Raven 42 will be preserved in a painting, unveiled under the stoic gaze of another Kentucky hero who would fight to keep us free.
I did what any other soldier would do. One guy can't win a football game, and one guy can't win a battle. I didn't come to Iraq to receive medals. I didn't come to be a hero. I came to do my job and do my part.